Hi guys, welcome to Talking Money with Nosy, Personal Finance Made Simple. Today's video is about my second TFSA investment for 2023. Before I show you my investments, let me show you my Excel spreadsheet where I record all my stock market investments as well as the months when I receive my dividends. So this is my spreadsheet, and this spreadsheet shows all of my investments on the stock market. So it shows my TFSA investments, my Australian dollar investments, as well as my US dollar investments. So all my stocks and all my ETFs are on all of these tables. And of course, they're color coded as well. The purple is for the TFSA, the green is for the Australian account, and the blue is for the US dollar account as well. Also, if I just scroll to the right, you will see those are my dividend calendars as well. I record my dividends over here, and also when I expect dividends throughout the year. What is nice about this is that it helps me to see everything on one page. So someone said, Nosy, isn't this a bit of overkill because your app already has all of these things? Why do you need to put it on a spreadsheet? Well, I want to see everything in one page. So with the app, if I want to see my TFSA investments, I have to click on TFSA. If I want to see the Australian investments, I click there. It doesn't display everything on one page, which is what this one does. So I can see everything just by scrolling down. And then another thing is I learned a trick last year. I learned how to build this table using some data from the internet. For example, the name of the ETF or stock, that's coming from the internet. The price of the ETF or stock comes from the internet as well. When it comes to my Australian account and the US dollar account, the stock or the ETF comes from the internet. Price comes from the internet. Description comes from the internet. And the PE ratio also comes from the internet as well. When I click on refresh, it actually refreshes the prices of the stocks and the ETFs when the market is open. Actually, it auto refreshes itself from time to time. So because the price is from the internet, I can use that to do some calculations. The other stuff though is manual. So like number of ETFs or number of shares, I type that in myself manually. So these are the number of ETFs I have for each of my ETFs. And where it says average purchase price, for this TFSA table, I put in the average purchase price myself from EASYEQUITIES. Where it says cost to buy ETFs, I also input that manually from EASYEQUITIES as well. Then where it says current portfolio value, that's calculated using data on this table. So current portfolio value is calculated. You see the calculation is written over there. It takes the number of ETFs and multiplies by the price. Let me scroll back. So here's the price. This is from the internet. So it'll take this column, number of ETFs, multiplied by that, and it gives me the current portfolio value. Then here where it says profit or loss, that's also calculated. This one is very simple. It'll take this cost to buy ETFs and subtract it from the current portfolio value. That's how you know your profit or your loss. Same thing applies to the rest of the tables as well. So you see number of shares, I put it in manually. Average purchase price is also a manual thing. Then cost to buy or purchase value. For my Australian investments, it's actually calculated. It says the calculation is the average purchase price multiplied by the number of shares. And it is accurate, guys. And I checked in my EASYEQUITIES account, it's exactly this. And also where it says current portfolio value, that's also a calculation, which is price times number of shares. Then profit or loss is also a calculation, just the difference between these two numbers. And also I made sure that when it's a loss, I highlight it in red. It's an automatic setting that I set for my table. And if it's profit, it's highlighted green. So you can see that in my Australian account, there's lots of red compared to greens. Whereas in my TFSA, there's only one red ETF and the rest are green. And here is the total profit. And here is the total loss. Same thing applies to my US dollar investments. Number of shares I input myself. Average purchase price I input myself. Purchase value I also input myself. Portfolio value is calculated by taking the price, which is from this column, and multiplying by the number of shares, which is from that column. So that's how we get the current portfolio value. And then for profit or loss, it's just the difference between these two numbers. I created a dividend calendar for all of the tables. So for my TFSA, Australian investments, as well as my US investments. And I record my dividends as they are paid. And I also mark X for when I know a dividend is going to be paid, or I'll put a date if I know the exact date when dividends are going to be paid. So far for 2023 in my TFSA investments, I've received a total of 381 Rand and 49 cents in dividends. And my upcoming dividends are in April. So you can see where there's an X, that's a dividend. So Core Shares Total World is paying in April. Satrix 40 as well as Satrix Divi. Then in May, it's F&B Global 1200. There's nothing for June. Then in July, it's going to be Satrix 40, Satrix Divi, and Signia S&P 500. Then in August, it's F&B Global 1200. In October, it's Core Shares Total World again. Then Satrix 40 and Satrix Divi. Then in November, which is the final dividend of the year, is going to be F&B Global 1200. Moving on to my Australian investments, I'm not going to show you the dividends for the shares, otherwise this video is going to be too long. I'm just going to show you for my ETFs. So I've got 3 ETFs in my Australian account. I've got the Vanguard Australian Shares High Yield Index ETF, or VHY for short. So I recently started buying VHY. That's why in January, I didn't receive a dividend from there because I hadn't yet bought the ETF. I also have Vanguard Australian Shares Index ETF, or VAS for short. I got a dividend in January. And I also have Vanguard Diversified High Growth Index ETF, or VDHG for short. Also got a dividend in January. My upcoming dividends for those 3 ETFs is 20 April, 18 July, and the final dividend from those ETFs will be the 17th of October. Moving on to my US investments, I've got 2 ETFs in my US account. I've got the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, or SCHD for short. And I also have the Vanguard US Total Stock Market ETF, or VTI for short. The 27th of March, I'm expecting dividends from SCHD. And on the 28th of March, they've already announced it. I'm expecting dividends from VTI. The next dividends are in June for both ETFs, then in September for both ETFs, and then the final dividend from both ETFs is going to be in December. So what I'm going to do is at the end of the year, I'm actually going to create a video to show you all the dividends that I've earned in total from all of my accounts, the TFSA, the Australian dollar, as well as the US dollar account as well. So if you want me to create a video to show you how to create your own tables like this with all your shares, with all your ETFs from the stock market, just write it in the comment section below and I'm going to create that video for you. With that said, let's get straight into today's investments. Okay guys, so this is the amount of money that I'm going to be investing today. And like I did in my previous video, I'm going to transfer 12,000 into my TFSA, which is the tax-free savings account. And I'm going to transfer 2,000 into the EASYEQUITIES Australian dollar account. So first, let's start with transferring. Menu, inter-account transfer, and EasyFX. From account, ZAR, to account TFSA. This one is immediate, guys. Once I transfer, it's going to reflect immediately. So 12,000 Rand. I agree to the terms and conditions and transfer now. That's done. Transfer request successfully created and it's already been processed. Next, I'm going to transfer again. This time I'm transferring from ZAR into my EasyEquities Australian dollar account. Now, guys, if you're transferring money into foreign accounts like the US dollar account, the Australian dollar account, etc., the trick is to transfer in the morning. So right now, the time is 9:30. So if I transfer now, it's going to reflect after an hour or so. So that's the trick that I use. But of course, with the Australian account, I'll only be able to invest the next day because they open at crazy hours. I'm going to transfer the whole amount. So 2,000 Rand, which is going to give me 159 Australian dollars. I agree to the terms and conditions above. Transfer now. So it says pending because it hasn't gone through, but it will go through after about an hour or so. In the meantime, I am ready to invest in my TFSA account. So let me click there. Let's go to account overview so that you can see what my TFSA account is looking like at the moment. So here we go. ETF's current value is 143,152 Rand, and I've just deposited that 12,000 Rand. So firstly, I'm going to buy this ETF called the Core Shares Total World. As you know already, this is a basket of 9,000 shares from 49 different countries. Purchase value, which is the amount that I invested so far, is 16,835. Current value is 17,900 Rand, and that is a profit of 6.32%. So I am going to buy more. Look at the price. It's 11 Rand 73 cents, down a little bit from the previous month's prices. But because I'm a long-term investor, it doesn't matter. What matters is consistent investing. And I'm going to invest 5,000 Rand worth into Core Shares. I want to really build up this ETF to second or third largest position in my TFSA. So 5,000 Rand is going to give me approximately 426.25 ETFs, only buy at ask, place, buy, order. Account overview again, all holdings. Okay, it's gone through. So now the purchase value is at 21,817 Rand. The next ETF that I'm buying is the First Rand or FNB Global 1,200. That is a basket of about 1,200 shares from 30 countries in the developing part of the world as well as the developed part of the world. Purchase value 40,217, current value 45,489. That's a profit of 13.11%. Buy more. And with this one, I'm buying 2,000 Rands worth. The current price is 70 Rand and 7 cents. So that's going to give me about 28.5 ETFs, only buy at ask and place by order. Next, I am buying Satrix 40. That is a basket of South Africa's 40 largest companies. Purchase value, which is the amount of money that I've invested so far in this ETF, is 22,189. Current value is 25,043, which is a profit of 12.86%. Buy more. The buying price is 70 Rand and 57 cents. I'm going to buy 2,000 Rands worth, which is also going to give me about 28.3 ETFs, only buy at ask, place, buy, order. Next is Satrix Devi Plus, invested 8,935 Rand. Current value is 7,887 Rand. That's actually a loss of minus 11.72%. I'm not concerned about this. I'm a long-term investor, and this is to be expected from time to time. So buy more. I'm actually happy when things go down because I can grab more shares or more ETFs for a lower price. The current price is 2 Rand 86 cents. So I'm going to buy 1,000 Rand worth, and that's going to give me, wow, that's a lot, 349 ETFs, only buy at ask, place, buy, order. And last but not least, I'm going to buy S&P 500, one of my favorite ETFs of all time. Purchase value, which is how much I've invested so far, is 26,240. The current value is 28,049 cents. That's a profit of 6.9%. Buy more. And I'm buying with the rest of the money, which is 2,000 Rand. That's going to give me about 27.7 ETFs, only buy at ask and place by order. Okay, now let's move on to my EASYEQUITIES Australian dollar account. So I did the transfer at 9:30 a.m. on Thursday. And just like I said, the money reflected at 11. So it took an hour and a half for this money to reflect in my Australian dollar account. So try by all means to do your transfer in the morning. 9:30 is generally the time if you want the money to reflect the same day. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you next is the times at which the Australian market is open. So what I do is I go to the EASYEQUITIES support website, and I really encourage you guys to use the support website. I think it's really underused by many people. So just go to Google, type EASYEQUITIES support, and click on that link that comes up. And let's just look for market hours, which is when the market operates. So market hours, yeah. So it says South African trading hours is between 10 past 9 and it says 9:15 for ETFs and 20 to 5, Monday to Friday, excluding public holidays and also excluding weekends, guys. Then for the US trading hours is between 4:30 to 11 o'clock during their summer and between 3:30 to 10 o'clock during their winter. So when you are investing, if you live in South Africa, these are the hours in which you can invest on the US market. Then comes the Australian trading hours, which is what we are interested in for today, really. It says 2:15 a.m. to 7:50 a.m. local time. So this is during their summer. These are the South African times at which you can invest in the Australian market. And then during Australia's winter, when they have daylight savings, the investing times, South African time, is between 1:15 a.m. and 6:50 a.m. Then here are the UK trading hours. So it is 10 past 9 and 20 past 5, Monday to Friday. This is South African time, which is okay because I think the UK's time is not so much different from ours. And that's why the operating hours are reasonable as well. It says EASYEQUITIES opens GBP trading for South Africa between 9:15 to 10 past 5. And then lastly, Euro trading hours, which is Germany and Netherlands. It's going to be the same, similar to the UK trading hours as well. It will be between 9:15 in the morning and 10 past 5 in the afternoon. So let's get back to my EASYEQUITIES. Remember when I did the transfer? Let's have a look at this. If I go into account transfer FX, transfer history, if you remember, the amount of money that was transferred was around 159 Australian dollars. How come my account is $164.50? It's because I recently got paid dividends and I just left them there. So that's why the money is more than what I actually transferred earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invest into this ETF, the Vanguard Australian Shares Index, buy more, and I'm going to buy with the entire $164.50. Here we go. That's going to give me approximately 1.88 ETFs, only buy at ask and place buy order. And that's it for today. Investing is done. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you learned something new and that you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions regarding this video, please type them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. Also, if you want to start investing and you need help, you can grab copies of my ebooks for beginner investors from my online store. Please see the link to my online store in the comments and description below as well. Remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye guys.